Hey everybody, I'm DeoGenZ. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Pokemon+Nobunaga's Ambition. Our ambitions today are to take on, I suppose, the Grass Nation? Yes, I believe it is the Grass Nation, and if it's not, it should be called that. Maybe the Floral Region. But we're taking on Motonari today, who happens to have a Wi-Fi event going on right now. So if you've imported this game, check it out. I don't know if his event is running now or if it's running later in March, but I remember the due date for the closure of its event was somewhere in April. Best bet to check these things are sites like Cerebi. That'll give you dependable dates on when you can download that, but know that it's for this guy with the Snivy and a bunch of grass friends. And this is a bit different than something that we've been doing for this entire game so far. Not only do we have to defeat the Baoxiao leaders here, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing any of the names, but you also have to capture these 3 flag points. And this particular map is littered with ground traps that you can't even predict or see. So it's going to be very interesting to see where all these different areas will lead to. Okay, let's not block my Eevee in there. So you also have to account for how your Pokemon move. And not only how they move throughout terrain, can they move over water, lava, things like that, but strategize how far can each player move. Now, what was that? Seawaddle, I think it was. That Seawaddle moved significantly far. But let's see. All about the same movement. With Jigglypuff, though, oh, a warp point. Interesting. With Jigglypuff, though, he has limited, or she has limited movement. So I'm probably going to keep Jiggly by the first central flag and move out Eevee towards the others, but for now we can claim this one, because the sooner you can claim a flag, the better off you'll be. Your team actually gets bonuses for claiming multiple flags or having the most authority on the map. Let's see. Not very effective. Haha. Or missed. That's really more or less a miss. But I do wonder if non-effectiveness and super effectiveness plays a role in this game. I'm sure it does. I mean, to have a Pokemon crossover game and not have the type disadvantages and advantages not programmed in would seem almost like sacrilege to Pokemon. Jigglypuff is still stuck in that pitfall trap. So we are going to try and get to that flag before those Seawaddle and Pansage do. Now this is interesting. I haven't really versed with Darumaka yet, but his attack is long range. And certain players that you add on to your team... Ah, good. You fell in the pitfall now. They have to get it at a different range. Oh, you missed twice! What, are you intimidated by my fiery Darumaka's power? So you can't actually attack that Snivy over there being 1 block next to it. You actually have to go 1 block away, which is... it's risky. Now I have to leave the flag zone, because as long as your Pokemon's on the flag, they can't... Ah, pitfall! They can't mess with you. Jigglypuff, back up! But if we want to get rid of Snivy for good, we are going to have to take a step back. Now we can attack. Oh! Freaking pitfall! That changed everything. Oh man, it's minor environmental hazards like that. Oh man, Pansage is just going direct for our other flag. And here I thought he was going to gang up on Eevee. Oh noes! But a minor environmental trap like that. Haha! Having fun missing, huh? Damn you! Red flag. Red flag brings me fury! Blue's better! But those kind of traps will really change things up, because when you had the move clinched where Darumaka would have been right back on that flag in theory because it's a fiery tackle charge. I guess flame charge is the move that he pulled off. This is a double slap move, it seems to be. Then it puts you right back on the tile that you were originally standing on. So we would have been right back on the flag and hit him with some super effective damage. But no. Had to fall in the friggin' hole. Well, that's fine by me. I guess it is hitting, but it's just not very effective. Because if it was missing constantly like that... Oh no! That would be really pathetic. Oh man, he's getting back up. So that's something to beware with these grass Pokemon. They have Vine Whip capabilities that don't require them to be directly in front of you. For our normal types here with no long-ranging attacks, that's a bit of a trouble. Darumaka's a bit better off, being that he's a fire type, so his flame charge or nitro charge, whatever he does, will be effective on these punks. Ha! But double slap wins them back. But those Vine Whips can get really dangerous, because what a foreseen strategy could be is any grass Bushao leader would try to be on the side of you so you could not attack them, but they could attack you from a distance. Perhaps they could be on some kind of environmental blockade that, oh come on, that Darumaka couldn't get over. If they were floating over water, for example, their Vine Whip could wreak havoc in your team. All they would have to do is keep being at a corner, and then they could attack. Keep being at a corner, and then they could attack. Just whittle you down slowly. So Vine Whip, very dangerous. But now Jigglypuff has a sworn duty. Even though that present... What happened there? Was that the flower that bumped him off? Weird. I wish I knew what was going on sometimes, but it makes it wacky and zany and an element of differently cool. So I can't complain. But we will get that present. We will not leave the flag. We're getting so close to capture. And something else to keep in mind. That number that flashed, I'm not sure if you caught it, in the beginning, right before we got onto this battlefield. That tells you how many turns you have to complete this, I believe. I'm thinking that it does. If I'm incorrect, please do correct me in the comments, but it appears to be that that's what you have to work under in stipulations mode in order to win a battle. I guess if you don't capture the flags in that time, your opponent's like, nope, can't do it, leave, you're too weak to take this nation. If you can't do it in 15 turns or less, we cannot have you conquer us. So, not a problem. That long-ranging... You know, another thing about that Vine Whip, besides the fact that they don't have to be directly in front of you, it's also damaging to potentially 3 Pokemon if you have them in a horizontal line like that. So, keep that in mind. If you get cornered while all your members are together, try and disperse them behind each other. This way only one will take the brunt of the Vine Whip while you file the rest past the threat, or just gang up on it and get rid of them. Vine Whips are terrifying. And it's interesting, tackles will whittle you down, but they have an advantage at the time, even though we still have 1 blue flag, since they have more authority on the map with 2 red flags and with one of my blue flags. They get an HP bonus and I don't. So, kinda sucks. Tackle does maybe 11 damage, but then they get an HP boost sometimes with 5. It makes it ridiculous. Ah, I'm glad to see that I could still attack while standing on those warp points. Perfect. Sorry, Motonari, but I need to capture that flag. And the present. There could be cake in that present. No, I'm thinking of Pokepark Wonders Beyond. Interesting game. Fun beginnings with cake. So if you got cake in boxes here to re-heal Pokemon, that would be awesome too. So that crawling vine really had no influence on this match. Again, I don't know how Jigglypuff just auto-released the sleep mode. Jigglypuff. Pulls out a marker. Seawaddle has moustache! And now we have victory. Now we're claiming the most flags. Oh, but he still got a bonus in HP. I guess it's any Pokemon that's sitting on a flag gets a bonus in HP, not the authority of how much, because right now, we rule the map! One more flag! And these two Seawaddle are going to be pieces of cake. They don't have Vine Whip, like their more terrifying buddies, Snivy and Pansage. So they are just a matter of whittling down. Combine the two, it's a mattle of down. Mattle of whittling down. Anyway, I was thinking it would be interesting, since this is somewhat of Japanese history, with the regions being split and many battles being had, not like this orderly grid-like fashion, but it has an occurrence. Nobunaga is a real historical figure. It has weight in Japan's history. I was thinking, wouldn't it be interesting if we went ahead and tried to bring that idea over here and teach history and science through Pokemon? It was Franklin Delano Roosevelt who rode in on his mighty Rapidash when he said, "Conservation is the way." Little did we know his conservation methods were only so he could hunt the local Ursaring. Oh well, he was stopped by a brave trainer, insert hero's name here, and just play through history, maybe defeating the presidents and their selected Pokemon. Imagine getting to Richard Nixon. Ooh, what Pokemon would he have? Would probably be something like a Weezing. Or maybe that garbage Pokemon. I don't even know the name of that monstrosity, but it's the 5th gen Staten Island heap of waste. Probably could be something of his Pokemon. Comment below which president would train which Pokemon. It's a method, because I know over 600 roughly Pokemon names. I'm still coming to terms with the 5th gen. But how do I know so much about Pokemon, and yet sometimes math skills can evade me? So if we incorporated these historical lessons that can sometimes be a bore, then I think we'd be, I think we might be going somewhere positive. I don't know why I did that. I did not mean to send Darumaka back. Sorry for wasting turns. Wouldn't it be funny if... No! Okay, don't just constantly press A. That is the lesson of today. It would be very funny if we ended up losing this game after defeating all the leaders and his henchmen, only to not claim the last flag because we were present hopping ineffectively. I must say, this Darumaka mage guy who joined us, he is a powerful ally in this nation. Yahoo! And Eevee is happy too. We did it, guys. We beat Motonari and his crew. Now we get experience points, and we get to move on through. And I guess those are sort of their levels or power levels. It's not so much on the level 100 scale anymore, as it is just numbers. So remember, Motonari, you can actually find potentially a Wi-Fi download. Depends on when you're watching this. But check Cerebi for that information. Alright, so we can move on. Of course, I'm going to save it up, because anytime we have a massive victory like that, you'll want to make sure you save. Okay, there is another region, the water region it appears to be. The water nation, really. It's all in the Ransei region, but just a different nation. Oh, Oichi, I never know with you. You always have a concerned look on your face, like you're not sure of things. And it makes me double think my own strategies, not understanding what you're saying. But I do realize we need some kind of grass allies on our team, because the Fire Mage won't be helping us. Is this a rice ball stand? Can we have food? How much is a rice ball? Oh, I guess we're broke. Okay, in the next episode, we'll find a grass ally.